Mr. Speaker, I rise today to honor James Robert Beamon of Edge, Texas, who turned 100 years old on September 15, 2018. Mr. Beamon, who is known as Bob to his friends, was born in Eufaula, Alabama. His family moved to Goliad, Texas when he was 2 years old. In true Texas style, he would ride his horse to school with his younger brother. As a young man in the 1930s, he attended a house dance where he met Annie Juanita Clifton. Annie and Bob would marry on December 13, 1937, and were married for 74 years. At the outbreak of World War II, Bob was drafted into military service, and although he could have opted to defer, Bob went on to serve in the United States Navy as a gunner for the PB-4Y-2 privateer patrol plane in the 106th Squadron, the Fighting Wolverines. Bob flew 17 missions for the Navy in the War Pacific Theater before returning to the United States. After his service, he came home and he raised 5 children with Annie, 4 sons and 1 daughter. He worked for over 60 years in the painting business and eventually owned his own company. Now retired, Bob enjoys making Wahoo game boards for his family, visiting military museums, and until recently enjoyed hunting and fishing. Recently, Bob celebrated his 100th birthday with dozens of friends and several generations of his family. He recounted many stories from his military service days and played with his great-grandson, Rage, who turned 1 year old on September 15th. Mr. Speaker, I'm proud to recognize Bob on this joyous occasion, and I know that his family and friends love him and are proud of him. I wish him many more years of health and happiness. I've requested the United States flag be flown over the United States Capitol to honor Bob Beamon's 100th birthday. As I close today, I urge that all Americans continue praying for our country, for our military men and women who serve us, and for our first responders who keep us safe at home.